everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Evelyn. So I have a very exciting video today. I made my own DIY ornaments. I did this video last year and you guys loved it, so I had to do it again this year. I tried to keep things very budget friendly and very easy to recreate. I believe the most that I spent on a DIY is $10, so I kept it very budget friendly so that you guys can go to your stores and recreate them. I highly recommend that you use ornaments that you already have. You don't have to go out and purchase ornaments just to DIY them. Just use the ornaments that you're no longer going to be using this year. That way you keep things even more budget friendly and a lot easier for you. I'm very excited to share one particular DIY. It's a very popular item this year. I'm sure you've all seen the very popular and viral velvet ornaments, so I decided to recreate them for those of you that haven't been able to get your hands on them or want a more budget friendly option. Then this video is perfect for you because I'm going to be sharing how you can make them. I also have a few other DIY ornaments that I know you guys will absolutely love, so without further ado, let's get started. So before we get started on the DIY ornaments, I did want to share how I transformed the caps. So all you're going to need is some rub and buff. I used the color antique gold, spray paint, or you can also use black paint. Now this first step I'm only doing to the ornament caps that were silver, so I dabbed some rub and buff all over. I let them dry, and I did want to give you guys two different options on how to make it more distressed and antique. And the first option is using spray paint. I used the Rust-Oleum Forged Hammer Spray in burnished amber and I just spray painted them. This is definitely a lot easier than the second alternative, but you can still get the same look by using just black paint, which is a little bit more affordable. So you're just going to grab some black paint, you're going to water it down a little bit, and you're going to start dabbing it all over the ornament cap. Once you dab it onto the ornament cap, you're going to start blending it out, and it's going to give you that same antique and distressed look that you're going for. Moving on to the very first DIY, we are going to be making the viral velvet ornaments. So the first thing you're going to need is some paint. I used the color Melted Chocolate that I picked up from Walmart, and then I used the color Coffee Latte that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. You're also going to be needing some flocking, so I picked this one up from Etsy. I believe each bag was $3, so it was very affordable. You're also going to need some Mod Podge, some tape, and then any ornaments that you already have. So the very first step I did was remove the caps, and then I added a colored pencil. It was just what I had, but you can use a skewer, a dowel, whatever you have, and then you wrap some tape around it. This is just going to make it a lot easier for you to hold and for the ornament not to be moving around. So the first color I went in with was Melted Chocolate, and this color I picked up from Walmart. I did add some baking soda because I have noticed that darker colors aren't as opaque when you apply them. And then I did the same thing with another ornament and applied the Coffee Latte color that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Once I was done painting them, I just stuck them into a cardboard box just to hold them up and let them dry completely. And then I went in with 2 more coats of each color. I really wanted the color that was going to be underneath the flocking to be very opaque. The reason why is so that in case we miss some spots, this color is going to be peeking through and it kind of blends in all together. So like I mentioned, I did pick up some flocking from Etsy, and they have so many different colors. The first one we're going to be using is tan flocking, and before we do that, I did need an adhesive, so I'm going to be using Mod Podge. So you're going to apply a very thick layer of Mod Podge. You want to make sure that you get a very smooth application. You don't want spots with a lot of Mod Podge because that will show once you apply the flocking. Once you get a really good smooth layer of Mod Podge, you're going to pour it over with a spoon, and don't be afraid, just pour it over and then shake off the excess. And then if you see some spots that are not adhering very very well. I just tapped the spoon and it kind of helped adhere the flocking. And then I did the same thing with the brown flocking. This one does have a little bit of a red undertone, so keep that in mind, but they have so many different colors to choose from. I also did the exact same thing with white, but I didn't need to paint the ornament white because it was already white, so I just went in straight with the Mod Podge. Once I was done, I stuck them back onto the box and I let them dry for about a day. I didn't touch them or move them because I didn't want to mess around with the wet Mod Podge. I will say that these do shed a lot because it is flocking, and I just want you guys to know that. But once they were done, I removed the colored pencil and the tape. I added the caps and they turned out so good. Definitely a budget-friendly option for velvet ornaments, or in case you didn't get your hands on them this year, this is a great alternative. This next DIY was inspired by some stone ornaments that I saw on the Arhaus website. It is a set of 6 for $54, so around $9 a piece. So we are going to try to recreate them. I did pick up some ornaments from Hobby Lobby that are paper and they were only $1 each. I also picked up this Krylon stone spray paint in the color travertine tan, and I did get it for $10. So to make sure that the ornament was standing up, I just used a toothpick, which was what I had on hand, but you can use a skewer, a dowel, anything to hold up the ornament. And then I did 1 coat of spray paint. At first I was spraying it on continuously, but I noticed that it would miss a few spots, so I noticed that doing little spritz worked a lot better in coating everything. And I did let that dry for a few hours, and then I went in and touched up the spots that didn't get any spray paint. Since these ornaments didn't have a cap on them, I just poked 2 holes, and since they are paper, it was really easy to poke the holes. And then there you go, you have a cap and you can add some velvet ribbon, and these look just like stone ornaments. So when I was at Hobby Lobby, I saw these ornaments and I loved the idea of using fabric on ornaments. I just wasn't a fan of the fabric that they used, so I thought, why not recreate them with fabric that I do like? All you're going to need are some ornaments that you already have, some Mod Podge, and your choice of fabric. I picked my fabric up from Joann's. I did pick up 2 different designs, and I got 4 inches of fabric, and I believe I only paid $1.50 for both of them. So the first thing you're going to be doing is just cutting your fabric into little strips, and to adhere the strips of fabric onto the ornament, I used Mod Podge. So I applied Mod Podge onto the ornament and then I placed the fabric over it, but I did notice that it wouldn't lay completely flat, so I just applied Mod Podge over the fabric as well, since it is matte, just to get the cleanest look. So all you're going to be doing is repeating this process of applying Mod Podge and then placing your fabric over it. I will say that if you are using smaller ornaments, to cut the fabric to the length of the ornament so that it doesn't overlap like how mine did. But once I used a bigger ornament, it worked perfectly fine. So I did the same thing with the other fabric. I just cut it into strips and then placed it onto the ornament. For this specific fabric, since it is dark, I will say this is definitely a trust the process DIY because it's going to look a little messy and not so pretty as you're doing it. I noticed that the darker the fabric, the more you can see the Mod Podge and every little imperfection, but once they completely dry, you can't even tell. It's going to look really clean, so don't worry about what it's looking like as you're doing it. It's going to look really good at the end. Last but not least, we have some dainty floral ornaments. So what you're going to be needing are some dried florals or any type of stem that you already have. I used German Status and I also used my fall stems that I got from Hobby Lobby. And you are going to need some clear ornaments. You can use glass or you can also use plastic. I picked up this 4-pack from Hobby Lobby for around $3, I believe. So the first thing you're going to be doing is cutting off little branches off of your stems, and then you're going to be placing them into your ornaments. Now if you are using glass ornaments, do not stick your finger in because it is very sharp around the edge. So just use your scissors to kind of maneuver the stem to place it where you want it to be placed, and that's it. So just fill up your ornament with the florals and then add your cap with some velvet ribbon, and they're going to look very high-end and dainty. That concludes today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed and recreate these DIY ornaments. Let me know down below which one was your favorite or which one you would recreate. I was so excited to share these because I just love how they turned out. I will have all the products and items that I used in today's video linked down below for you guys in case you do want to recreate them. I did want to mention that I already picked a winner for last week's video. Please don't get discouraged if you didn't win. I'm going to be doing more giveaways this year, so stay tuned for those. I appreciate all of you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.